Hello! Today we will be watching the musical Tuck Everlasting and comparing that to the book. I'll be completely honest, I will be biased. The musical is what got me back into the book in the first place. I think I picked it back up probably in high school whenever I saw the musical online. And I haven't really watched the musical in a while either, so I don't remember exactly how accurate it is to the book. But I do know that I like the character choices a lot more because they didn't make them an angsty emo teenager. So without further ado, let's just kind of get right into it. Welcome to the world of bootlegging. This is going to be quite interesting because this is not like any experience you've probably experienced before if you're not a theater kid. Basically what happens in these, somebody took a camera and is trying to hide the camera so their camera does not get taken away. And so they are starting the video a little after the performance begins. If somebody's coming by or somebody shifts in their seat, they have to kind of like hide the camera. So this is not going to be great quality, but it's what we have. I'm pretty sure this is also not the version that I watched when I originally watched it because this is before the Broadway run. This particular recording, I can't find the one that I originally watched, which was the Broadway one. This one took place before Tuck Everlasting actually went to Broadway.
Small story, and the earth opened wide. That man over there, he's the man in red. Man in the corner.
Okay, so these lyrics are not still the lyrics. I guess we'll critique it as it is here, but I'll also say what I remember from the Broadway recording as well. So we're going back in time and seeing May meet Angus here. She's talking about wearing her sister's shoes and I'm gonna marry that man over there. That's the past. Starting in the past, that's wrong. Just to be frank, I don't know that we in the book even got much of a backstory about Angus and May. So all of this is moo. I don't dislike it because, like I said about the movie, what I did like is that they did try to dive deeper into the characters. I just disagree with the choices they made. This I like because it's showing May kind of like in love and naive and cutesy little girly.
Doesn't stop smiling. His eyes seem to find me wherever I turn.
And arrives home to never miss an inch as my boys grow and grow.
I like this. I like this change. So this is explaining their motivations, their thought processes before they drink from the spring and live forever. So we're going to see like such a vast change in the relationships between them. I was saying in the last one that the reason that everybody sees it as a curse is because May and Angus want to grow old together and see their boys grow old. So you see May is really focused on watching, like, growing old with Tuck. And Tuck is focused on watching his boys grow up.
An inch as my boys grow and grow.
As my boys grow and grow. So this is why they view the immortality as a curse, because May wants to be with Angus. Angus wants to watch his boys grow, and then whenever Angus can't fulfill his wish, he kind of stops being the loving husband to May, and then May loses her wish as well. Oh, this is good. It's a change, but it's a good one. I like it. Ah! I almost forgot. I'm so sorry. I almost forgot. Part of the reason I love this so much is because as Andrew Cannon Bolger, however you say his last name, he was in Newsies. He played Crutchy in Newsies, and he is like one of my favorite Broadway actors of all time because he has just this such like sweet innocence to him, this bounce to his step, and I think it's really weird that they cast him as Jesse, playing a 17-year-old as he was. When was this filmed? I want to say he was in his 30s, but maybe he's like in his 30s now. Either way, it's still, like, they increased the age difference between Winnie. You saw her at the beginning. She's an actual 10-year-old girl. And then here's Jessie, played by, at the very least, like mid-20s. Makes it even worse. But at least they don't play into like the romance aspect as much into this one, if I remember correctly.
I swear I won't stop till I see the world has to show me.
The day of my wedding, my suit is a puddle. I'm convinced.
Okay, this is exactly what I was saying about Jesse. Jesse sees this as a blessing because he can see the whole world. And then Miles comes in and he's also living in the past. He's living in a past. It's his wedding day. So his curse is that he will never be with his family again. I really like this version, actually. It makes the song a lot longer, I think, than the Broadway version did. But I do like, you're getting insights into each of the characters individually. Whereas I think in the Broadway version of this opening number, Jesse and Miles kind of overlap. They each get like one line. It's mostly like Winnie and May, I think, that sing this song. And then it's just like lines here and there. Okay, I didn't catch what May said, but Jesse said travelers, Tuck said fathers, Miles said lovers.
May I go inside and play for breakfast?
No, I'd like to hear your essay first, wouldn't you, Nana?
If I must, I must.
Good and bad things going on right now. So the bad thing is you can still see people setting up the set over there on the side. That should have been done before. During that blackout, it seems like they had plenty of time. To me, I don't know the actual mechanics that go into this. They probably had to wait for the house to go on first, but they could have come on from stage right and gotten it on that way so the house could come out on that track over there. I don't know. That's just kind of bothering me a little bit because I know the tech side of musicals, and I feel like that it was either a mistake that they didn't get it out in time or it was poor planning. However, the good thing is that they're in black. Her grandmother's there, her mother's there. You can see they're at a funeral. I don't know if they're going to mention the funeral at all, but you can clearly tell, like, this is the beginning of the book.
Our state of New Hampshire was one of the original 13 colonies that founded the United States of America.
Elves!
Nana, you're interrupting.
No, the elves interrupted first. Did you hear them, Winnie?
No, she didn't. Go on, dear.
Okay, so this is something that I talked about in the analysis of the book. We don't actually know what state they're in. The musical is claiming it's New Hampshire.
Breakfast outside this morning?
We don't eat outside.
Yes, we do. Remember when Daddy made the waffles and we ate them outside and you said it was just like a picnic?
Yes, of course I remember. The world is a dangerous place, Winnie, and we have to stay safe and keep busy.
Yes, Mother.
I like they added in the motivations for why her mother doesn't want her going outside. Because the world is a dangerous place. She didn't explain why. I wonder if they're going to in the future, but right now I'm just going to speculate. They just came from a funeral. They're wearing black. They haven't explained that yet, but that's what happens in the book, and I'm assuming that's what's happening here. So if they're coming from a funeral, she mentioned her dad. Do you remember when Dad made waffles and we ate them outside and you said it was almost like a picnic? We don't see Dad. Where is Dad? Is Dad there? Or did Dad die? And that's the reason it's not safe out in the world. Or is it just Grandpa? We don't know. Yet.
I definitely heard something.
I'll get her.
Inside the yard! Inside the gate!
Yes, yes.
The elves. Hear them. I first heard them when I was a little girl playing in the wood.
I wish I could play in the wood.
You know, elves are...
They got it almost right. They were this close to being right. She's supposed to already be outside talking to the man in the yellow suit when the elves come up. But I do like this. They included the elves, which is more important to me than getting how the elves come up correctly, because the movie didn't include the elves at all. I like that the grandmother is more of a person in this. Like, she's much more there. they're fleshing out her mother more as well. It seems like they're doing a very good job at fleshing out all of the characters without taking away who they are or without like switching out who's important, which I think I really like that.
I want a house full of dancing and laughter, a place where our melody rules every rooster.
That part wasn't there in the Broadway one. I like that part. That's very good. I like that little dancing thing because I remember later you see her older and she's dancing. And I don't recall ever seeing her dancing as a little girl before. So I like that.
What's that?
Maybe the elves started a band.
The biggest change that I recall the musical making is about to come up here. The man in the yellow suit is a part of a traveling fair. And in the Broadway version, he has a verse in the opening number, Live Like This Forever.
Good morning.
I'll say.
Oh, well, what do you say to this? Free admission to the fair. You live here a long time.
We've lived here forever.
Forever.
My grandmother moved here when that wood was a forest that went for miles.
Kept the Foster's backstory the same. Talking to the man in the yellow suit with her grandmother, not her mother. They're doing a pretty good job. They're making slight changes here and there, but I'm really liking this. I did say I was going to be biased. I am biased, but I do... Like, this isn't the version that I watched, so I'm slightly less biased, and I still think it's pretty good. At the very least, it's much more accurate than the movie was.
I see you are recently bereaved. My condolences. Death is a terrible thing.
Yes.
Yes. Live forever if I could. That tune. Do you hear it?
Oh, I've heard it on and off my whole life. Means the elves are in our wood.
Your wood.
This is good. This is accurate, relatively. The man in the yellow suit hears the music box with them. She says it's the elves. She explains that they've lived here forever. He's interested in the woods. This is really good. And it's showing, like, her mother won't allow her anywhere outside of their gate, which is, it's so much better than the movie because the movie changed the motivations because she was taking her to town where she could interact with other people. She was having parties at their house where she could interact with other people. The very brief mention of the funeral, well, not in depth or of whose it is or anything like that. This is really good. This is doing amazing.
Please, can we go to the fair?
Lower your voice.
Please, can we go to the fair?
No.
Daddy would have taken me. We did fun things all the time.
Enough. Give me that token, please.
No, it's mine.
Fine, keep it, but we are not going.
I hate you. I hate everything.
Winnie, say sorry.
No, we never do anything. We never go anywhere except the cemetery.
We go to remember your father.
I don't remember him there.
So that's a change. It's her father's funeral, not her grandfather's funeral. So I was right at the beginning. It's a scary world because something happened to her father, so she doesn't want her out there. Maybe it's also because at this time it's probably like you need a man to protect you, so without your father we don't have any sort of protection leaving the house either. But this is good. Giving backstory even to her mother's intentions of why she's keeping her locked up like this. It's good. I like it.
When the front door shuts, should it get open? I gotta get out while the getting's gone.
She is supposed to leave whenever her mother and father aren't looking, like before they wake up. And that explains why they don't immediately go out looking for her. At this rate, her mother should be constantly looking out the window, making sure that she is still standing there. So that is a little bit of a plot hole. But to be fair, we don't know exactly how quickly she notices that Winnie is gone and how much she goes to search for her because it is a large wood. And at some point she does get kidnapped and taken from the wood. So
I'm here in the wood. Not sure I like it. Where are you, Toad? Oh, there you are. Hope I can get through here to the fair.
She's actually hiding.
Hello?
Hey, you shouldn't be here.
You're the one who shouldn't be here. It's my wood. I can come here whenever I want. You're not old enough to boss me.
I am too.
You are not.
I'm 104 that is old enough to boss you.
How old are you really?
17.
Oh, it's old. Are you married?
How old are you really? 17? Oh, that's old. Yeah, it is, Winnie. They didn't set that up very well. I feel like in the other one it's probably a little bit better where he's already there and drinking from the spring and whatever, but that wasn't staged very well in my opinion. Like hiding, yes, but he should already have been there, like drinking from the spring, like instead of just a quick like he didn't drink for long enough. It didn't hold as much impact drinking from the spring to where she should see it and want to do it as well.
No? Are you?
Of course not. I'm only 11, but I'll be 12 real soon.
And then you'll get married.
I'm only 10, but I'll turn 11 pretty soon. They aged her up by 1 year. Not a big deal. It's definitely not 15.
All wonder to behold it.
A story yet untold. It's
Technically speaking, I don't think Jesse ever does actually bring her to the top of a tree, but he does bring her to the top of rocks, so I'm just going to equate the two of them. The silo that he was previously talking about, which I do think they probably make their way there later in the musical, but right now it's just kind of like, the tree is fine. It stands in place, it distracts her from the spring. The issue is she's not supposed to be distracted from the spring because that's when Miles and May come through and whatever, but I'm not mad at this because this is one of my favorite songs from the musical.
Ma, shut that thing!
Oh, Miles!
You never know who might hear it. Sound really travels, honey.
Ma, listen. Something happened.
Hello! I heard your tune. Love to meet ya. I've been looking for ya.
I think I know who that is.
Were you followed?
Oh, were you?
We have to go, now.
You're right, we can't let anyone find us here of all places.
Well, what do we do?
We can't just leave her here.
Sure you can.
She'll have to come with us.
I don't want to go with you.
Hello? Anyone there?
Let her go!
She'll scream.
Not supposed to scream. She's supposed to kind of be frozen in fear, just letting them do stuff. That I'm not very happy about. I do, like, the man in the yellow suit wasn't supposed to come this close this soon. It was supposed to be when she's on the horse. Then they see the man in the yellow suit and she decides it moves too quickly for her to realize that she could scream. Because she's too kind of like paralyzed in fear. That does kind of change her character a little bit. She's clearly more brave here than she is in the book because of her actions that she's taking right now. And that changes her character just a little bit.
Now she will?
Roll her in the rug!
Ma! Oh, please be quiet, Winnie. Just trust me. We have to go.
It'll be soft and silent. Hurry, get her on the wagon!
Then what?
Let's get home and figure it out!
Yeah, Paul will know what to do.
Yeah, this whole thing is not how they did it. They just put her on the horse and left. You can tell they don't have bad intentions here because of how they're discussing it, but it's still not like... It makes them worse people because she specifically said, I don't want to go with you. And then she was struggling against them and she was screaming for help and they still did it. It makes them a little bit worse. Whereas in the book, it's kind of just like so sudden that she doesn't really make any moves against them. She doesn't say anything against them until they get to their destination. And then she starts crying and she's like, I want to go home. And they're like, oh, we're scaring her. Yes, you kidnapped her. But to be fair, she wasn't acting very scared before. Now here, we're coming up on another big change. There is a junior detective on the case, Hugo. I love Hugo. He's so funny. But he's a huge differ from the book, because the constable is supposed to, be alone. He's supposed to be incompetent and alone. Now, him and Hugo are both pretty incompetent. So it doesn't change the fact that the police can't really do anything in the story, but they wanted to be able to give maybe a slightly more age-appropriate love interest. Hugo ends up being who Winnie marries at the end of the musical. And I do really like that, because Hugo's just such a goof. He's really cute and funny. But he's also played by a grown man. And I just think that's I think he's supposed to be maybe a little older than Winnie, maybe 15, and since she's 11 in this one, it's only 4 years apart. But it's still just meh. The change, I think, is bad. I like the character.
Pancake supper. Now, this being your first case, I suggest that you keep your eyes open and your mouth closed.
Joe!
Betsy Foster came as soon as I got...
Constable, from what I'm seeing so far, I don't really remember much of him from the... I remember the 2 songs Hugo has, he's in those a little bit. I remember that. I don't remember too much of the Constable himself. But from what we just saw, the small little interaction, he seems to be played pretty similarly to how he is in the book. So, still like these choices that they're making for the characters. I think mostly they're pretty much the same.
Here, Pa. Meet our new problem.
The child?
You're crazy people!
This is Winnie Foster. Winnie, this is my father, Angus Tuck.
Oh, you're a Foster from Tree Gap. You know, your great-grandfather was the greatest shot I ever saw. How do? Don't you want to shake my hand?
No, you're bad people.
No.
Yes, you are. I want to go home.
Oh, no, Winnie, we are not bad. Pa, tell her why.
If we tell her, we'll have to
Cut the cackle, Miles.
Miles made a joke. Miles made a joke. He's not angsty. He's angry. He's not angsty. Miles made a joke. This is so much better than the movie. I think they just need a pro shot of this, and that'll replace the movie. And it's perfect. Put on pants. I can see a little too much. Or just pull it down a little. Ugh. Oh, she's still trying to run away a little. She's a lot braver. Running away in the middle of the day. Trying to run away from them. Saying they're bad people. All of this stuff. Her character has changed just slightly to be more brave.
May wear my boots. May wear my pants.
Where are you going?
Fishing.
Fishing? Why?
We have a guest. We need a meal.
You've been gone 10 years, but you're 17.
Kinda.
That's impossible.
Oh, Marla, just tell her what happened, really. What else can we do?
We could still...
Miles!
I love this song.
Are you ready?
This song is so good and it's so perfect. This is actually what happened. They're telling her immediately what is going on. And they're about to jump voices over each other. Something that you can't actually really do in the book is show them speaking over each other. And they do it so perfectly here. Oh my gosh, I love this.
No, we didn't know the
Spring was the fall fit, or where we'd sit on the delicate balance.
The greatest family in the universe.
The cat and the horse, the tea on the tree, the drink that changes for eternity. That's our secret, keep it locked up
I
tight.
still don't understand.
Enough! All right.
Where's the cat?
It comes and goes as he pleases. Every kitten for 50 miles has his white paws.
I did just realize, however, that they did not cover the spring back up. He slurped, turned, ran, which is kind of the same thing they did in the movie. They didn't, the spring wasn't a part of that tree, you couldn't really see anything, so there wasn't really anything for them to cover up, which is fine. It would just be another set piece that they had to move, but that was just a thought that I had.
Haven't lost the knack. Fish for dinner. Found it. Jesse.
Angus!
Oh, May. Everyone swears when they get shot. I'm fine. I'm perfect.
Who's not your father?
Jesse, I told you not in the house.
This is a common occurrence. Okay, to be fair, to give the movie a little bit of credit, they showed that they actually were hurt a lot more from the bullet wound. Even though they still lived, it was painful, and it still knocked them for a second before they could get up again. They made it almost like a joke here. The impact of the bullet, the only time that someone was shot or mentioned to be shot in the book is when Tuck tried to do it to himself to test the theory that they couldn't die, and the theory proved true, and everyone had to watch that. They're making really light of it, and this is a kid's show, so making light of it is a good thing. Like I was saying about the movie, making it lighter is much better than making it darker, because it is technically a kid's story. I don't know, I wish they took that a little more seriously, because it's good. I mean, I guess the serious subject is life and death just in general of this story, but it's important for kids to learn it through their kids' books, how to contemplate and think about things that are deeper that adults typically don't talk to them about. And that also confirms to her immediately they're telling the truth. Those two things together. Before, like in the book, it's like a lot of contemplation going back and forth of, is it true? I do like that they because they did this only 30 minutes into it, and it's an hour, I think 2-hour show, because Act 1 is an hour and a half, or an hour, and then Act 2 I think is 40 minutes, so it's almost a 2-hour show. Instead of having her contemplate, is it real, and do I want to join them? Now the whole process is just, do I want to join them? Which is still keeping the integrity of, like, what if you could live forever? It's just, there was a bit more of, like, contemplation that you can't really see, because she doesn't have discussions after this. They just assume that she believes them. But this is, like, showing she actually does.
It's getting late.
Oh, it is. It's getting very late. Don't you think she should stay?
Yes! May I stay over, please?
Of course you may, and welcome.
We'll take you back first.
She doesn't ask to stay over. They kind of do make her stay over because they want to make sure that she understands that she can't go drink from the spring before they bring her back home. They are almost making light of it, specifically because Jessie is the one that's talking most. We need Tuck to be that hard person that's making the decisions, because that's who he is. No, she cannot go home yet. She has to stay the night. We have to make sure that she understands she cannot go drink from that spring. And she can't go telling anyone about it either. We need that, like, rules guy.
I know if I wear this, Angus will ask, new dress? He won't remember.
You will.
Okay, this song is a little bit boring for me. I won't lie. There's always at least one skip in every soundtrack. But this is a beautiful moment between her and Winnie. I like this because it shows the impact that May has on Winnie and Winnie has on May. It's so touching. It's so cute and sweet, and it really shows their relationship blossoming into kind of a mother-daughter friendship, whatever. This song is a little bit unnecessary because we care about Winnie. The story is about Winnie and her thoughts on life and death. But this does give us deeper insight as to why May is wishing that she could grow up or go back to the past.
May?
Angus?
Again, they're sitting at a table. Why are they sitting at a table? Is it that hard for them to eat on the floor?
New dress?
No, not new.
Well, you bring it to life.
Thank you, May, for kidnapping me.
Oh, great girl. Here.
Here's to the girl who ran away, who's as brave as she is clever. Our first guest in maybe 80, 90.
Forever.
Here's to the girl.
This is totally off. This is way off. This is awful. And I don't really know that this is even relevant. I won't know till the end of the song if this is necessary or not, but I don't think I like this one. I don't recall this being in the musical and the Broadway version, so maybe they do it better there. They probably do. But what happens in the book at dinner is she breaks down into tears again. thinking she wants to go home, but then she's looking around and she's like, man, like this is so different from home. Maybe it's more free because we're sitting on the floor, we're eating with our hands, we don't have like rules at the table, and we're not talking because food is a sacred time for them. And that's very important to who the Tucks are, I think, and just to show the difference between the Tucks and her, especially considering that she just, like, they set it up so well for her to not be able to want to eat with her hands and on the ground by saying that her dad once took her for what was almost like a picnic, and then her mom saying, no, we cannot eat outside today. We cannot do that. You have to sit in the parlor and eat porridge. And then she comes to their house and they eat pancakes while sitting on the ground. And it could be the perfect little reminder of how happy she used to be with her dad and how different this is from her current life and whatever. It could have been perfect, and they just messed it up. So let's see if the song is even a good one.
Of the story.
Is it necessary or relevant? No. But it does show that Winnie has brought a lot of life back into the house, and it's a very fun song in general. I do like the song. I just don't think it's necessary for the story. And I think it was cut for the Broadway show, so because none of this at all is looking familiar. So I think it is better that it's cut. That being said, this is a very good deleted song, I'll say. Just not good for the story, I don't think.
It's been a long day. You've had an adventure.
It's not what I expected it to be like.
Well, sometimes adventures are only fun when they're over, when they're a story you can tell. But while they're happening, they can be
Strange and scary.
But being afraid and still doing it? Oh, that's the part that counts. Good night, Winnie.
Good night.
Hey, what you got there?
Okay, so she didn't have her little moment at night with May. That's okay, she had a big moment with her earlier. She had a little moment with Tuck, but it was kind of a different kind of moment. Now she's having her moment with Jessie. The whole thing about the bed being comfortable, the couch being comfortable, it shouldn't be comfortable, it should be lumpy, and at that point, until everybody comes and starts to, like, love on her, she's supposed to kind of be thinking, I want to go home, do I even believe her, they're still bad people, until they come and then, like, show themselves good again. So that is a change, but because we can't see into her head, I think this is fine. Because we can't hear her contemplating, like, are they good people? Because she's already decided they're good people, and that she believes them. Now it's just kind of deciding whether or not she wants to join them. So for the purposes of the show, that's totally fine. It does change from the book.
Token for the fair. I wish we'd go.
We could.
Really?
Sorry about scaring you before the spring. You need to cry or something?
I don't cry. I'm almost 12.
That old?
How old are you?
Oh, I stopped counting.
Are you married?
I was.
Did she die?
Sure she's dead by now.
My father died. He had an accident.
I'm sorry.
What was her name?
Still glossing over the death topic, but it kind of shows that she has a little bit of introspection. I like this. This moment doesn't happen with Miles. The only moment they have is on the boat later. I'm wondering if they're going to keep that. I really hope they do, because that's also one of my favorite songs, Time, where he's describing his life with his family and how he misses them. That might happen right here, though.
Rose. She was a teacher.
Really? I'd like to be a teacher. My teacher, Miss Hammond, she fussed with me sometimes because no one else wants to.
Why not?
I'm really good.
I am sorry. What's that?
It's a token for the fair. I haven't been since my daddy took me.
My son used to love the fair.
Is he alive?
I don't know. I haven't seen him since he was 7.
Okay, so it seems like they're gonna forego the fishing on the boat early in the morning moment with Miles for this moment with Miles. Instead, they're they're going to keep the boat moment for Tuck. I'm okay with that. I think the whole contemplating her father's death can replace like the whole seeing the fish dying, whatever, or she can have that moment later with Tuck.
Forgot me.
What was his name?
Thomas. The bright boy Thomas.
And this is different as well, because in the movie and in the book they mention Anna, his daughter. They mention he has a son but don't say his name, and in this one they're focusing on the son Thomas instead of Anna, which is quite interesting to me. I don't know why they did this. Before it was like, you know, you remind me of my daughter. And that's how he kind of builds a connection with her. But now it's reminding him of his son, which is strange. I don't really know how to feel about that. This is a different song.
And basic first.
It's supposed to be Partner in Crime, which is one of my favorite favorites. I think I like Partner in Crime better because one, it sounds better, but also because it, I think, plays better because it's saying like that Winnie wants to be Jesse's partner in crime and go around and just do stuff like this all the time. This one is talking about like there's not enough time to wait in the line, which one isn't a very good lesson to teach, but also it's just like it's not super relevant to anything. So I think I really like Partner in Crime a whole lot more than this one. This is just kind of, and this whole carnival thing isn't really relevant to the story at all. It's a huge difference. Like, she's supposed to kind of sleep through the night mostly. Just kind of, Jesse comes down and says like, hey, marry me. Which, unless he says it at the end of the night, I don't know that he says it. Which is good. Honestly, if he doesn't say, hey, marry me, that's a really good thing.
17, am I right?
That's absolutely right on the nose.
Yes, wait, how old are you?
I'm 17, just like you said.
Spanish shawl?
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha! I've been looking for you.
No, Silo, go!
No. Hey, oh, slow down there, little fella. Relax, I mean you no harm. I just want to ask you a few questions.
I don't like this. I think it's visually more appealing. I completely understand why they did it, because for a stage audience, it's a lot less impactful to go back and forth between seeing him just like following behind them, listening to the story, and then stealing their horse. Like, there's not a lot to see there for him to catch on to. It's just not interesting. This is a lot more interesting to watch. I completely understand it, but it is absolutely not at all what happens in the book. And that is just bad. This is a kids show. They're trying to make it a lot more entertaining, a lot more bright and colorful. They're adding a carnival. I'd be fine with them taking the trip to the carnival, even though it doesn't happen at all, because it's entertaining. But doing the man in the yellow suit catching on to them this specific way, I don't like. I just think it's too far off.
6 years from now, go to the spring. Go to the spring and drink.
I don't know why I said I hope he doesn't ask her to marry him, because I knew it happened. I remember this song. I'm not opposed to this way. I think it would have been, you know, obviously it would be better to put it back in the house when they were going to bed and like keep it more accurate to the book, but this is visually more appealing, I think, with that star in the background. They're looking up at the night sky, and it also gives him a lot more reason to be wanting this. He just explained, like, I think Partners in Crime, that song does it for him, saying like, it's so lonely to travel the world by myself, and then to have this moment a couple minutes later, he doesn't even have to have that little dialogue of like, I miss so many people because I have to go around the world alone. Even though I see living forever as a gift, I am missing so many people because I don't have anyone to do this with. I really like they gave him that intention, because it makes you understand, like, he's not in love with an 11-year-old. He's in love with the idea of having someone to go around with him all the time, and Winnie is able to have as much fun as he does. And I think that justifies the age a little bit more.
Or I could just drink it right away.
No, you have to wait.
He understands. He understands. That's good. That's so...
You'll see, there's a difference.
Okay. He gets it. I like this awareness. This awareness is really good of like, no, it's really weird right now. But like, wait. And they're even at this moment, it's not like, come marry me. It's like, just be my companion, be my friend. He has a gun too. He didn't have a gun. Yeah, he didn't have a gun. He just dragged her. I don't understand why both of them are adding a gun. They're making him seem like more unhinged than he is. Like he just wants to live. He doesn't want to take someone else's life. He'll take someone else's woods. He'll manipulate people and blackmail them, but he's not gonna like kill them.
Good morning. Breakfast? What do you like?
Anything but porridge.
Never. Tastes like hot paste. How about waffles?
Yes, please. Could we eat outside like a picnic?
Sure. Morning. Dark spot.
Okay, that is even more showing that he is like that she's like his daughter, Anna, and they didn't even mention Anna. Because it's like equating him to her dad. Waffles, not porridge. Like it's just yeah. They set things up so well and then just
Who's this man? Where is he now?
We lost him when he ran. I'm sure we did.
It's too risky. We'll have to leave.
Okay, again, they're leaving. Why are they leaving? This was never a plot in the book, and yet the book and the musical and the movie both did this thing where they're packing up to leave. They had no idea that anyone was onto them until the horse, because they had to make sure Winnie got home first.
I've got one.
Easy does it. No, pull up. Up. Oh, well done, Winnie. Trout for breakfast.
I can see him dying. Oh, please put him back.
Okay. All right, here, look. You can see him swimming away.
I wish they made that fish thing more impactful. That was very small. I said earlier that I really hope they added that in. They did add it, but they didn't add it well. I don't know. I wish that was better.
I don't understand why my father had to die.
I reckon it was his time. But being a part of the whole, well, that's the blessing. It's a real Winnie. Now won't you drop an anchor? A boat gets stuck, and it would stay forever.
Just floating on top,
Watching life passing by, just floating on top.
That's what us ducks are.
just floating stuck.
You can't have a living without dying, so you can't call this living what we got. We just are. We just be. No before, no beyond. A rowboat anchored in love pond. And Winnie, most of all, we must never tell a soul.
This is a good way, this song is a really good way to express the whole circle of life thing. Without having to do like this long monologue thing, this song is a very entertaining way to express this heavy topic. It does justice to the conversation, I think. As kind of slow as it is. And I like that when he's talking about it, he puts the anchor down so they're also stuck. And then they pull it up together and go around the circle. That's like symbolic of her deciding I'm not gonna do it. Kind of before. Like I said when I was discussing the book, in the way at the beginning it says middle of August, as if like time has stopped, and then later, before she has officially decided she's not going to drink from the spring, it says the wheel has started turning again. This is also symbolic in that way, where she helps him pull up the anchor to say I'm going to keep going before she has officially decided not to drink.
I will be offered kingdom.
Jesse!
Go back!
Let me go, please!
No, your papa doesn't scare me.
Oh, no, of course not. But now doth. My granny told me of a family she watched never age a day, and here you are.
Please help me, please! You leave that
Stay
child
back!
free!
Everybody, you stay back! Oh, a music box. How deliciously simple. My granny taught me that too.
Look, here's some water. Let her go.
Oh, excellent. Well, the girl will drink first, just to make sure it's a genuine article, and then I'll shoot it.
No, please, no.
Oh, but I could, because if, as you say, it really works, she'll be fine. Oh, it'll be fun.
You're mad.
This is almost accurate. They're almost so close. So, 1, he doesn't have a gun. He's just dragging her out of the house. 2, they're at the house. They're not at the spring. Right now, they're in the middle of the wood. 3, he's the one bringing up the music box and all of this stuff without having to be prompted for it. He's just, like, trying to rattle them.
Hugo, over here. Here, you, step away. Winnie, did these people hurt you?
No, they're my friends.
Who did this?
I did it. If I have to go to jail, I will.
Wouldn't be jail. It'd be a hanging.
The constable's incompetent, we know that. So of course they still have to enact the plan, even though he clearly still has the gun, and it was clearly self-defense. And even 1, why does he need to ask? Winnie was holding the gun. It looks like Winnie killed the man in the yellow suit because he was holding a gun to them.
Don't try to protect me, May. I hit him. With this.
I'm not much. I'm just a constable in a small town, but I'm all the law they got, so just give me a minute. I believe you.
You do?
Of course I do. You're a good girl.
I like that they believed her. It shows 1, that the constable is stupid and incompetent. 2, it blocks out those plot holes. But it is a major change. They no longer have the whole plan. And this is a musical. It would be a lot harder to do the whole jail escape thingy with the set and with all of that. It would be so difficult to pull that off well. So they would have to change it like the movie did. They could probably come up with a much better way to change it, but instead they decided to just get rid of it altogether. They already had 2 hours of show. They wanted to make it a lot lighter so that kids could actually come see it. I understand why they got rid of it. It is still a big part of the book because she is further going past running away. She is now also breaking someone out of prison. And that is a huge, huge development for her, to decide that she cares more about keeping the secret than continuing to be a good girl. And that's what eventually gives her street cred with the kids in town as well, breaking May out of prison. So, like, there's just a lot of little butterfly effect things that happen because they don't have that situation playing out. So, for going this direction, they did a really good job about it. They left no plot holes, really, because the constable has proven himself incompetent time and time again. It's more just like they took out a huge part of the book. And I don't like that they did that.
Goodbye, Winnie.
You okay? Need to cry or something?
Wait for you up ahead.
We'll walk together.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Keep it safe. No matter where you are, when you're 17, you drink it. Drink it and come find me. I'll leave directions somehow, please. Please say you will. I'll be planning the best adventures.
So will I.
Ready, Winnie?
Ready, Hugo? You'd be safer inside my yard, inside my gate. I don't blame you. I wish I could help you. Wait, I have an idea. Keep still, Toad. I'll give you a bat, and then you'll be safe forever. Here.
Okay, technically speaking, pointing out changes, he was supposed to be threatened by a dog, and that's why she did that, so that he could never get hurt. That was just kind of like, meh. But, like, she's 11 years old. Of course she cares really a lot about this random toad. So...
Winnie? Foster Jackson, beloved teacher, cherished wife, devoted mother, dearest grandmother.
Every day an adventure. I bet she had amazing stories.
Shut up. You shut up. Okay. It's just too good. It's too good. It's too good. It was really good. I don't know if it's just that I love theater so much, or if it's the story, or if it's just the way that they did it, but that was so beautiful. Obviously, there's a change at the end there. We see her life. At the end, we see that she's a mother, a grandmother, whatever. And then there's also the change that all four of them came back, not just May and Tuck. But I really like that. Because they all connected with her so much. Because all of the Tucks meant so much to her, and she meant so much to all of them. It just makes sense for all of them to come back. I'm gonna try to make like a list of all of the changes that I saw, because this was such like a spaced out, like doing it saying things as I watch it. I just want to make sure that we have like an organized list. I'll put it in the description. I have my new sobbing show. Goodness gracious. So to touch on main differences, they still didn't hide the spring. They made Winnie braver. They still were a little bit too rough with her when they initially kidnapped her. They made her accept a little too quickly. They didn't have her debate quite as much. They focused more on the friendship aspect of Jessie and Winnie. They had the whole carnival thing going on. They had the junior deputy, which in this version of it, without Hugo's songs, Hugo is really irrelevant. But in the Broadway version, Hugo has 2 songs, and they're really funny. They're really cute. I really do like Hugo. They cut the whole breaking May out of prison, all of that. They cut all of it. They made the confrontation with the man in the yellow suit a little different so that they could do that. Overall, it was really good. Just to touch on physical appearance, because I did it for the movie, I have to do it for this as well. Winnie doesn't have a specific description, so she's fine. It says the man in the yellow suit is tall and narrow. He wasn't very narrow, not super tall either, but taller than kind of the average height of the men on the set. May was still not very round. Miles still doesn't look a whole lot like Jessie. Jessie does not have long hair. I think, what did it say? It was like curly hair. So Andrew Cannon Bulger, his hair's pretty straight. So that doesn't really work for him either. So these photos are so strange to me. They look like Twilight. Jessie has like straight hair. Miles also has straight hair. It's not very long, it's not curly. They don't look super similar. Yeah, they don't look very similar. I would say more Hugo looks like Miles than Jessie does. So the physical descriptions aren't that great. They didn't really describe Tuck that much in the book either physically, so I think his description is fine. I don't have a whole lot of complaints in that department, because like usually on stage you don't try to match physical descriptions that well unless it's like very, very specific, and in that case you can do like a wig or something. Also, you're so far away you can't really tell if people look similar or not. Hi, I just realized that I forgot to do the archetypes, so I'm just going to go over those really quickly. Jessie remains the love interest. Hugo becomes the comic relief, kind of splitting Jessie's archetypes from the book into both Hugo and Jessie, who are both love interests, except at different points in Winnie's life. May becomes the complex character instead of the dynamic character. Instead of just being like the mother to the boys, she is also really wanting the love from Tuck and wanting to be noticed and seen by her husband. And when her boys aren't there, she's not getting that. So she's also more family oriented, and on a much deeper level is longing to be a part of her family, because half the time they're not there. The dynamic character becomes Miles instead of May. Miles was the static character, but he is now the dynamic character because he goes from being really angry and saying they should Winnie at the beginning to really liking Winnie. And also he kind of dislikes his brother. They argue a whole lot, and in the end, he's like, hey, do you want to walk together? I'll wait for you. Angus becomes the static character, with the exception of the one scene where he's depressed in the beginning. What they show in the past and what he is mostly like in the whole show is that he's very insightful and he's very happy to be with his family. The same kind of feeling and the same kind of emotion throughout the entire show, basically. The stock character remains the constable, and the mother and the grandmother switch places. So the mother becomes the minor character because she has a bigger role and you understand her motivations and her intentions more, whereas the grandmother is just kind of like, ooh, fairies. She's kind of just like the kooky grandma. That's kind of it. Thanks so much for watching. I've had so much fun, and I will see you in the next book. Bye!